It's a pleasure to be here. I will make my presentation short because we are running late. I will just stick to the facts, and I will talk in this section about the global ship finance market, and then I will talk about some current ship finance trends. I will leave the Greek ship finance market, any discussion for later in the panel. The global ship lending figures worldwide are 475 billion. That's the pie of ship finance. And that includes offshore, but excludes shipyard finance and rigs. What I have here, and you all have access to our website, which is petrofin.gr, and we will be putting this presentation tomorrow, and you'll be able to see previous presentations, which are as detailed as you would wish. But here we have the latest analysis, which shows that the top 40 ship finance banks have lent 391 billion, and that's out of a total of 475. The interesting part here is that we see some banks coming up which are replacing some of the banks which are coming down. So in the top 10, we see banks which are unfortunately declining their portfolios, banks such as HSH and Commerzbank and RBS, without that being seen as being that they're not doing any ship finance. I think that they are declining the overall portfolio whilst keeping their position. At least that is true for RBS and HSH, and remains to be seen for Commerzbank. We see some major names. The top bank is DNB, and that's a bank that's coming up once again, with emphasis on strong clientele and able to write big tickets. And then we see Bank of China now up to the third position, followed by KfW, Nordea, ICBC, Korea Exim Bank, DVB, and so on. This is how, since 2008, when the crisis started, the top 40 bank lending has gone. And as you will see, we are still on a decline. The news that I have for you today is that I believe that 2015 will be the year of stabilization. I think we will stop seeing the declines of global ship finance. And therefore, we may say that we are over the worst. If we look at the top 6 bank share, it's approximately 30.7% of the total. And this is down from 32% last year. So another major trend is that a lot of the ship finance has gone towards regional and local banks and away from the major banks. Thank you. That shows also in the fact that the top 40 is slightly sliding down, but the overall total ship finance is staying more or less the same. I think this trend will continue, and also we see a lot more lending taking place with export finance and other means of ship finance. This shows geographically how the importance of Western Europe has been coming down, as you will see, from 373 billion down to 276. And to some extent, that has been taken up by the slack in the Far East on the right-hand side. So overall, European banking will continue to decline, but I feel that the rate of decline is going to slow down for next year. Within Europe, the only area which is holding its own is Holland and Scandinavia. The rest of the major markets, Germany, the UK, France, and so on, have been on a decline. This is a very interesting graph. It shows that in 2008, 82% of all the value of all shipping deals was done by bank finance. Whereas if we look at 2013, we see that's gone down to 60%. That shows the increments into ship finance by various funds, which have been growing. The rate of growth of these funds has been phenomenal, and I think it has to do with the development of what's called the gray economy. As bank regulation has increased, a lot of funds have moved for investment into these funds, and these funds are awash with funds. And we've seen some evidence of that by the development of interest and investments in Greek shipping. That, however, as we all have realized, is on the wane, without meaning that they're out, because they now are concentrating on specialist sectors, on their existing client relationships, and on the next phase of picking the right time to invest. With the amount of resources that they hold, they will not ignore shipping for long, and they will re-look at shipping as the developments take place. This is a graph about spreads, and we see how they've gradually gone up and now are just over 300 basis points. Another interesting development is that this year is we don't have 2014, not yet, but this year we will show that it will be the first year that spreads have not gone up any further, and in fact may be beginning to tail off. The world fleet has gone up by 3.39% over the last year, and that shows it's still growing, and that is a blessing and a curse at the same time. The Greek owners have placed their bets. They have invested massively in new technology, and they are waiting to see the benefits come in of their investments. The same thing applies to the major investment funds which have gone in with them. At the moment, they have not seen the returns they were looking for, and in fact, shipping has been on largely a negative cash flow over the last 6 years, with most of the repayments towards banks in the main sectors coming from Greek owners contributing from their pocket. And therefore, as we sit here as Greek owners on the watershed of possible major political changes about to take place, it will be very interesting to see how any new government that comes in will look at shipping. I've been warned to carry on and be quick, so I will be. The projected demand for increase of international trade growth has been scaled down to 3.5 for this year and 3.7. My only point on this is that if there is prolongation in new building deliveries because of the poor market, next year may be the first time that we will see matching of demand and supply. That's my only thing. That's in the dry bulk, in the tanker market, and but not yet in the container market. I will move on, and I will now move to, you're missing some of this, but you can read them tomorrow. I will just finalize by saying that it is a very good opportune time to be having this conference now. When it comes to Greek ship finance and the ability of Greek banks to be able to compete and provide ship finance, we all waited with bated breath to see how events will develop in the forthcoming months. I think the link between ship finance and Greek banks is a very strong link, and this is very much felt by all owners and Greek bankers. We hope that this will continue and that also Greek shipping will rise to its true position in Greek society and Greek economy, which is a professional that it's looked up to rather than down to. Thank you very much.